Okay, in this section, we're just going to do a couple more examples. I'm going to give you all a few more chances to try some different examples as well, and then we'll move on to the tougher IB questions. But okay, so just some word problems, applications of right and non-right angled trigonometry. So just some useful tidbits too. So if you have right triangles, it's usually either going to involve Pythagorean theorem or sine, cosine, or tangent in some shape or form. If you have an angle and its opposite side, along with either another angle or one other side length, you're going to use the sine rule. And if you have the measure of two sides and the included angle, you're going to use the cosine rule. So just keep those tidbits in mind. So the first question here, example, I think is going to be relatively straightforward. The next one's going to be a little bit more challenging. So the radius of the Earth's orbit around the Sun is approximately 150 million kilometers. When the parallax angle, which I have labeled there, to a nearby star is 7%, we want to find the distance from the Earth to the star. Okay, so I think this one should be relatively straightforward. So this is going to be the Earth in June. You can think about this as being the Sun. And this will be the star. Well, we know that the radius is from the Earth to the Sun is 150 million kilometers, so we'll just leave that as 150. We're also given this parallax angle as 7%. Okay, so we're interested in finding the hypotenuse in this case. That would be the distance from the Earth to the star. So let's see. So recall that sine of theta, that equals the length of the opposite side divided by the length of the hypotenuse. So in this case, we'll just have sine of 7 degrees equals, well, the opposite side is 150 divided by the hypotenuse, which is what we want. So we can multiply both sides by the hypotenuse and divide both sides by sine of 7%. Okay, so let's see here. So sine of 7%, that's roughly equal to 0.12. So if we do 150 divided by 0.12, I'm getting this to be equal to 1,250. So that'll be in million kilometers. Okay, so that's all there is to that one. Pretty straightforward, just knowing your relationship about sine in relation to the opposite side and the hypotenuse. The next one I think is going to really tie a lot of things together. We'll use quite a few things here. So a ship sails from a harbor H. So here's our harbor H on a bearing of 84 degrees for 340 kilometers until it reaches a point P. And then it sails on a bearing of 210 degrees for 160 kilometers. So we have a couple questions here. So it's going to reach this point Q. We want to know in part A, what's the distance between the point Q and the harbor? So we're trying to find this length. Well, let's see if we can't figure that out. So I'm going to draw a larger triangle because I think I'm going to sketch quite a few things on here. Okay, so here's H. There's our point P and our point Q. I'm going to put a little little north compass arrow on each of these points. Okay, so let's start off by making a couple observations here. So we know that this length is, again, 340 kilometers. This one is 160. We're trying to find the distance from Q to H. So I'll write that as D. Well, let's see here. If I knew this missing angle, let's call it maybe capital D. If I knew that missing angle, I could use the law of sines. Well, right now I don't have that angle, but let's see if we can't figure that one out. So I'm going to make a little triangle. So suppose this makes a right angle, and I'm going to make another triangle here as well. Or not, just another line, rather. Okay, let me change my color back. Okay, so if this is a right angle, again, we know that this angle is 84 degrees. Well, that tells us this little angle, because again, we know that they all add up to 180 degrees total. So I've got an angle of 84 degrees, 90 degrees. Well, this remaining angle must be 6 degrees. And likewise, we knew that this bearing was 210 degrees. Well, halfway around is 180 degrees. So that tells me that this little measurement must be 30 degrees. Well, I know that this makes a right angle again. So I've got 90 degrees, and I can subtract away 30 degrees and another 6. Well, 90 minus 30 is 60. 60 minus 6 is going to be 54. So I know that this is going to be 54 degrees. So now we can use the law of cosines. So we'll have that d squared, that's going to equal the other two sides squared. We sum them together. So 340 squared plus 160 squared minus 2 times 340 times 160 times cosine of that angle, which again is 54 degrees. So let's do some simplification here. So 340 squared, that's 115,600. 160 squared, that's 25,600. So let's see, when I take cosine of 54 and I multiply that by 160, let's see this one more time. So cosine of 54, I'm going to multiply that by 160. I'll multiply that by 340. And then by 2, I'm getting negative 63951 after rounding. So that's going to be d squared. So let's see. So if I take 115,600, and if I add 25,600, and then I subtract away 63,951, I'm getting 77,249. And after taking the square root of that, I'm getting that to be really close to 278. So our distance, our solution for part A, it's going to be 278 kilometers away, roughly. Okay, so part B, we want to know what bearing must the ship sail on to return directly to the harbor. Okay, so we're trying to figure out, okay, so here's north again at our point Q. We're trying to figure out this bearing. That's what we want to know here. So, well, we already know a couple things. I'm going to extend this line out further as well. Okay, so there's our line. Okay, we already know from our north, from due north, if we go around, we know that that's the bearing of 210 degrees because that was given to us in the original problem. That's 210 degrees. So I'm going to shade here in green this extra little part. If I could just figure out that angle in green, I could take 210 and add that missing angle, and that would give me my bearing. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to find this angle, the angle inside the triangle, because then I can subtract that from 180 to get the green angle because it lies on a line. Okay, so let's call this missing angle A. That's the one we're trying to find now. And then I can subtract that from 180 to get, again, the green angle. And then I can take the blue bearing, which was 210, add it to the green one, and I'll get my solution. So that's our game plan here. So now let's find this angle A. Okay, so again, we can use the law of cosines. So we would have its opposite side, which is 340 squared. That's going to equal the other two sides squared. So we've got 160 squared plus the angle we just found, which was 278 squared. So we'll take minus 2 times 160 times 278. That's going to equal cosine of our angle A. Okay, so again, just trying to be careful here. I'm just trying not to make any arithmetic mistakes. So 340 squared, again, that's 115,600. 160 squared is 25,600. 278 squared is 77,284. Let's see, 2 times 160 is 320, and 320 times 278. Looks like we'll have negative 88960 cosine of A. All right, so a couple things here. I'm going to take 115,600. I'll subtract away 25,600. And then I'll subtract away another 77,284. That's giving me 12,716. I'm going to divide that by the negative 88960. And then I'm going to take inverse cosine of both sides. That's going to give me my angle A. So let's see here. After doing this, let's divide by 88960. Let me make it negative. And now inverse cosine. I'm getting this to be roughly equal to, I'm going to round to 98 degrees. Okay, so now I know this angle inside of my original triangle. That's 98 degrees. But that tells me that the angle in green, again, since it lies on this line, the angle in green is going to be, I can take 180 degrees, subtract away the 98 degrees. So 180 minus 98 is just going to give us 82. So I now know that this missing angle is 82 degrees. So I can take my original 210 degrees. That was the original bearing that the boat had been on previously. I can add the extra 82 degrees. So we'll have 210 degrees plus 82 degrees. That's going to give me a bearing of 292 degrees. So I like this problem personally. Lots of little things going on here. Certainly might be an easier way to do this one. I don't know. Geometry has never really been my forte. I like it, but it always makes me nervous for some reason. So maybe a quicker way to do it, but this definitely looks correct to me and should be okay. So hopefully the diagram isn't too cluttered. It definitely got more cluttered as we went there a little bit. So, all right, though, a few questions for you all. Again, just sort of really using everything that you learned in this section. A few questions, and then we'll jump on to the IB questions.